Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome for joining. How do you do? How are we today? Welcome in. Welcome in. Get settled. Get comfy. Cause today is hopefully the final episode of the letter. Jesus Christ, it's been 10 weeks, a little bit longer, because I had to keep taking breaks because of IRL stuff. But yeah. What to catch up on Luke? Honestly, not a whole lot. It's still really early on Luke's chapter. He did meet the ghost Gorl. He was out doing some gardening, and the ghost came up to him in like full body. But like, she wasn't ghost like at all. She was not ghost at all. Completely, totally normal looking. She's really cute. Kind of clingy, kind of scary. He wasn't really gardening. He just went to go pick flowers for his dead mom. And he saw the ghost, and then they talked, and then she did a spooky, freaked him the hell out. You missed a lot of Johannes. There's a lot of Johannes. There was a lot of Johannes and a lot of like smart talk from Johannes. Let me go ahead. So hi friend, hi Tave. This your name's a little dark. Okay, Dalin who. Hello, welcome for joining. But yeah, Johannes comforted him by telling him stop being a little baby. That there's nobody who should be working, so we're gonna get security up on this bitch and figure out who that. Johannes is like literally like Luke, you could have been kidnapped. That wasn't a worker. That was probably a kidnapper. He's like worm, worm, Anja. So let me just go ahead and announce on the Twitters that I am live. But yeah, hello, welcome in, everyone. How do you do? How goes it? Let me give thanks real quick to Alyssa Nya, who gave me a follow just 2 hours ago, right before the stream started. Would you look at that? I very much do enjoy opening up Streamlabs and then, or not Stream, I don't even use Streamlabs. I do enjoy opening up OBS and well, bam, right there. Fancy new notifications, like a little present for me. I'm a bit winded because during the starting soon screen, I decided to make some tea for my throat because my throat got kind of dry yesterday. Reading all those lines for Yakuza, and also having the heater on. So I decided to make some tea, and I made it, and I got this new what was it, peach Bellini flavor from Tivana, and it smells really good. It's like passion fruit and mango. I forget. No, it's mango and pineapple. It's got a really strong smell, but it smells like it's gonna taste good. But anyways, I made the tea, and I sat down at my desk. I'm like, all right, rub my hands together. All right, time to get this stream started. And I look at my desk, and I see two empty water bottles. I went, oh shit, I need real water. I need my real water. Fuck, let me go get that. So I like dashed to go find water. I'd have filled up the big chuggiest, but that takes a little while, and I kept y'all waiting long enough. So let me finish putting out this tweet, and we can get started. Hopefully I haven't completely forgotten how to do a bad British accent. Okay, hold on. That's a cute gif. I think I'll go with that one. Gee, has it even been a few weeks? I feel like it's only been 2 since he released. You managed to put 40 out. Honestly, though, I was playing Smash with a friend the other day. Not even the other day. Literally yesterday. Just I was playing some Smash with a friend before stream, and it was like my second time trying Sephiroth out, and Sephiroth was a lot of fun. Oh my goodness, new main. Hello, hello, Hikage. Excuse me. Hello, who is that? Is that an adorable little ocelot I see there? Hello, friend. How are you? Just lurking. Love you too. Okay, you know what? Y'all want to see? Y'all want to see one of the most like adorable and amazing VTuber designs? Here we go. Please go check out friend here. Friend. Enjoy the lurk, but also, please accept this shout out as a token of my gratitude. From the announcement to now, I spent just getting used to the game again. I didn't play. Honestly, I do that. Smash after Byleth released, Smash became like, uh, pick up game, play a little bit, put it down. New character gets announced, buy character, play game a little bit, put it down. And Sephiroth came out. I was like, wait, hold on, Sephiroth's kind of fun. Maybe I want to play more. So as of right now, I only played like Sephiroth and Byleth. I haven't played that much, aside from yesterday, but it was a lot of fun. Where's my fucking Twitch? Where's my Twitch link so I can slap that shite on my tweet and we can get this bitch started? Copy. Bam. 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 Okay. Okay, we Gucci. Where's my game? Where is my game? Let me make sure I don't have anything else running in the background, because this feels slow. No, that's just Yep. BattleNet. Yep, BattleNet was loaded. It was in the background. I was playing a little bit of quad fish on duty. I want to stream that, but that game's too intensive. I'm gonna have to be a PNG if I do that. Okay, where is it? Where is you? Where is you? Fuck, actually, where is my visual novel tab? Oh, there it is. Inkling was fun. I had a lot of fun playing Inkling on release, but I didn't stick with them as much as I wanted to. Joker's neat, gun ability is neat, but I don't play Persona, so I don't like. I think Joker was, one of the coolest announcements, and it was hard to top that. Cause like that style, that announcement, oof, peak style. Sephiroth came close though. Sephiroth had a really good announcement. Just the just the first 2 seconds of One Winged Angel, and everyone's flipping out. Oh my gosh. Cloud's fun. I'm not all that good with Cloud. I used to play Zero Suit Samus a lot in like Brawl. Brawl and Smash 4. Alright. Baba Booey. Let's see, where my game at? Yeah, what? What? What are you doing over there? What are you doing? Hey! Hey, what are you doing? That's not where you belong. You belong over here. Hey. Fuck. Hold on. Yeah, I think that'll do. Alright, okay, so like I said, not much is happening with Luke as of yet. His chapter literally just kind of began, and as is all chapters with the letter, every character's intro is a little bit slow and just sort of easing them into the spooknings. Whereas we're already used to it because it keeps happening, but they get eased into it. I'm gonna take a sip of tea so I can get my bad British accent ready. I'm not even drinking tea for the British, I'm just drinking it because it helps with my throat. Ah, bitch is hot, but it tastes good. Continue. I think this is the very end, though. I think we're gonna hit the end today. I don't know if we're gonna do true ending. I feel like we should just watch that on YouTube if you want. That's a lot of work. Oh, yeah. So, literally, like I said, what happened was, Johannes, basically said, hey, you could have been kidnapped, you fool. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Johannes, I feel. and Luke had gathered flowers for his mother, and then we acted like a little soon and we gave them to Hana instead.
I'm not sick, Hana. I just got them for you.
Fucking soon voice. Also, I'm playing his line so I can fucking get into his character a bit.
I thought they make you feel better, brighten up the room. I don't need my intentions questioned. The thank you was enough.
Okay, alright. Nasally, whiny, British baby. Little baby man, baby. Alright, Tave. Enjoy your lurk, and enjoy more Smash when you play that. I didn't get any sleep. Not a single wink. I was so busy jumping at every shadow and worrying about waking with the knife in my chest. We're not waking at all, even when Hana wakes, in spite of a mild fever, and goes downstairs for breakfast, I stay in bed. Thoughts of poisoned food running in my head. The rain that started sometime during the night doesn't help the mood. Okay, maybe it helps just a little. The strange sunny weather has been nice and all, but for it to return as it should be, feels like a good sign of things to come. Perhaps things will settle back to normal, and the crazy drama that's gone on lately will die down. I would hate to be caught unawares in this rain. With how it looks outside, it seems that the weather is making up for all the sunny days it's given us with good old-fashioned downpour. The rhythmic pitter-patter of the rain fills the early morning silence with a steady beat. Thank goodness I don't have to be anywhere in a hurry today. I would hate to be caught unawares in this rain. What? What? I just read that. I've only been hitting spacebar. That's the exact same line, isn't it? With how it looks outside, let's see, and with how it looks outside, Yeah, it's the exact same line, what the hell? It does let up within a quarter of an hour. However, a day beginning with a cloudburst like this, locals usually take it as an immediate sign. Luxborn's abysmal weather is back, likely for good. I hope they did the damn job of fixing this place because I'd rather not have to deal with leaky roofs. I don't like the idea that Realty did a horde patch job with the place. Hana technically paid millions for this place. Better live up to the price the Realty company sold it for. Oof, excuse me. Roof problems aside, she's going to be a definite downer about this as well. She hates the rain. Then again, who actually does? What sane person would like it when 9 out of 10 days consist of nothing but dark, drab, and grey skies and piss water pouring from the heavens? And she was just starting to enjoy the sunlight. I will have to get up about eventually. This is a given, but I'm not too keen on seeing or talking to Hana before she leaves for the hospital. Or eventually in a few days' time. This bloody house. Kylie won't like it if she comes here only to find me in a bad mood. If you would dare rouse me from bed, being able to keep their jobs is incentive enough. I trust they realize that now is not a good time to force me into anything. Maybe I can get just an hour or two sleep before Suarez drops his bread off the mansion steps. If only. But, as always, somebody has to be a buzzkill.
Are you really going to stay in bed all day?
What do you want?
You must have been really rattled by what happened yesterday. If you need to talk about it, I am quite qualified in that regard.
Hi, Johannes Amenable says hello. Take the offer, Luke. Johannes is lending an ear.
And you aren't even the slightest bit bothered. Truly, not even the slightest bit worried?
I was worried. But I realized that it's not my life in danger, is it? My worrying will not help matters. Neither will yours.
Loath as I am to admit it, he is right. Still, it's more frustrating when he doesn't give me time to concede his point.
I know you two aren't getting along.
Nosy bugger.
But you should at least see the madam off before we leave. Think of her as a business associate if you must. It would not do to part on bad terms.
It's far too early to deal with your nosiness.
That's none of his business. None of it. If he remembers his place, he'll drop it. I don't want to talk to Hana, not now, when I'm so high-strung and paranoid. This whole thing's a bloody mess with everything going off at once. I'm afraid that, with our troubles, I will misinterpret anything she might say or do. I just make the whole thing worse.
Are there any updates about the woman?
Being in the dark has me on edge. Information, any at all, may very well help me in calming down.
I've already briefed security about her, and more from the agency will be arriving tonight. But they haven't seen anyone fitting the description.
So you have nothing then? Fat lot of use you guys are. What do I even pay you for? Do me a favor. There's the door. Don't let it hit you on your way out.
Well, there is something. It's about McCulloch.
Gasp. Can anyone blame me if I show the tiniest bit of interest? She's still not done with the house, and she's a nice enough woman. Plans to go back to sleep are gone.
I called her secretary about taking the day off. He hasn't heard from her over the weekend.
She's probably passed out after enjoying a pint or 2 or 10 in a bar somewhere. She's an adult. It was the weekend. She's allowed to disappear and not think about work. Fuck.
What was that? Fuck. He's got a point though. She is her own woman. She can do what she wants on the weekends.
I wish I was passed out after a night of drinking. He does know that mobiles are a thing.
That's all well and good, but she's not answering her mobile either. Mr. Parker will be filling a missing persons case with the police if she doesn't turn up today.
Certainly someone must know where she is. Tabs are kept without fail on people who come to work with me. Background checks and constant surveillance until they finish their contracts with the rights. Some would say it's all a bit over the top. But I can't be too safe. Too many want me dead.
What about one of ours? Has anyone seen her? She's pretty hard to miss with how tall the woman is.
The last anyone has seen of her was here, the morning of the party. Your housewarming party.
That isn't good news.
It wouldn't do for the police to hear of this and to suspect.
It's of little import that I can easily prove my innocence. It is all a matter of principle. Cause even the accusation of misdemeanor should not stain my reputation. Although, maybe it is a bit too late to hope for a squeaky clean one. Besides, it'll be such a hassle to have police poking around the house looking for a body that doesn't exist.
Now, if we're done here, I'd like to go back to sleep and...
Where are you?
No sleep for you, Theo. Well, there goes any plans of grabbing some shut-eye, rolling on my stomach. I can only scream into my pillow.
Of course, of course. Ah.
Says the one using her outdoors.
Johans, distract her.
Oh, look, it's time for me to go.
Wait, I don't think we've seen a surprise Johannes. I think it's the first time we've seen a surprise Johannes sprite. Okay.
Have fun with your little
Restarting
play
that.
date. So long, farewell, and auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.
Fucking smug punk.
No, Johans, don't you turn away from me. Keep her busy for an hour. Come on!
I have to press my face against the pillow once more to suppress a groan. You just can't get loyal help anymore.
Hello there, little Fraulein. Your uncle is just upstairs and will be down in a moment. He is super excited to have you today. I hope you're well rested and ready to play a lot.
That bastard. I'll be down in a sec, Munchkin. Let me just...
Change into a fresh shirt, brush my teeth, fix my hair, bemoan my very existence. Wish I was anywhere else in the world right now. Don't get me wrong, Kylie's a great kid, wonderful, better than most brats her age. But handling a tyke is the last thing I want on my agenda right now with this whole Hana business. Fortunately, I am well versed in how the world works. I've long learned that show must go on no matter what hurdles come in my way. So I set to preparing for the day. Now, running a comb through my hair is just divine and simply makes me feel more human. Bed hair is disgusting. Oh, it isn't as bad now as it was when I was a child. How expensive a trip to the barber's was, I often had to grow it out until mother had time to cut it for me. The curls and tangles was simply horrid. Why was I even I wasn't even mistaken as a little girl because of that. Certainly doesn't help that I was named Lucille. A freshly pressed shirt is enough to chase away the last signs of sleepiness. The feel of crisp and clean clothes in my hand is clear marker to the start of the day. Smoothing down my suit and my hair with a sigh, I steel myself for the horrors. The horrors that come with taking care of a child.
Good morning to you, Luke.
Good morning, Kylie. speak of the devil, and she shall appear. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Kylie grins up at me as soon as I open the bedroom door. She swings the backpack she's clutching, hitting my leg in a show of impatience and looking up entirely unapologetic for it.
Did you just wake up? Oh, tell me you forgot. It's our playdate today.
I doubt I forget. Kylie's visits are a frequent enough thing that they found a way into my schedule. They're supposed to be visits to her grandmother. But we can't pick a child who gets along. A child gets along. We can't pick who a child gets along with. So long as I'm not busy, her father can drop her off for the day. Which is all well and good for me if it makes Suarez focus on the work I've given him. Besides, she's a bright child. Tolerable. Kid's got a good head on her shoulders and can get pretty mature for her age at times. Of course, they have me to thank for that. Her parents can take partial credit, but Hana and I have been there for this kid since she was just a small babe. Why, I can still remember the first time I saw her. It was during her baptism. The reason I was there was to accompany Hana, who was to be named godmother. She was such a tiny thing, not even a year old, and swaddled in her mother's arms and white cloth. It was the first time I really saw an infant up close enough to hold one at least. It's been terrifying to be given a little child to carry around after the whole water ceremony. I haven't done so before that, to hold a tiny little life in my arms. I could just dropped on her head, and this tyke before me would have stopped existing then and there. But the child just smiled at me, babbling nonsensical words as children do, and clinging to me as I try to hand her off to Hana. Y'all ever hold a kid and just feel powerful? Because it's like, wow, your whole life is in my hands. I control your fate. I'm so strong right now. Nobody can stop me! It is too late! She had thought it hilarious and adorable. My suit had been in a mess, and I was nearly an anxious wreck by the time I handed her back to her mother. Yet, it was pleasant, too.
Of course I didn't, you little rugrat. I just had to take care of something before you arrived.
Really? Well, I guess that's fine. As long as you told me for work like last time.
Really? Now why don't we go back down and have breakfast in the parlor?
I already ate at home. Papa made one of his tortillas de patatas. He wouldn't let me leave until I finished every bite.
Come on! You couldn't have at least gotten a child who's gonna grow up in a Spanish household and pronounce it tortillas? Come on! Tortilla de patatas. Jesus. The Suarez infamous tortilla de patas. Patatas. Those things are a hazard. You could probably use one to bludgeon someone to submission with how huge they are. It's a miracle Kylie can still be so energetic. I had trouble staying awake the first time I had one. Speaking of staying awake...
Well, I need some coffee in me at the very least. But if you'd like, you can jump straight to dessert.
Yes! Dessert, please!
It's easy enough to manage Kylie with the promises of sweets, thankfully. Oh yeah, we're aware of you and your promises of sweets. The hard part is managing her before she gets her sweets, because I nearly have a heart attack when the kid races down the stairs. Just the thought of her slipping and breaking her neck is enough to make me rush down after her.
Slow down, the food isn't going anywhere.
The food is going somewhere. In my tummy.
Fucking stupid kid.
Jesus fucking Christ. Children.
Not to call you out, Marie, if you're still in the chat, but that sounds like something you would say. Not the children part, the fucking thing she said. With a shake of my head, I usher Kylie towards the parlor and order a maid to bring food for us. Whatever breakfast there is, along with a cup of coffee for me and ice cream for Kylie. But I can't leave the kid alone for too long. I just want to let her turn the other room into a slaughter ground. True to my expectations, I've only left Kylie alone for a few minutes, but she's already made herself comfortable. Fat mood. The stuff from her backpack has been left scattered across the room, from coloring books to crayons to toys. Alright, I'm calling it now. This thing's gonna get possessed. I'm calling it now. Calling it now. Plot twist, it's the fucking dinosaur that gets possessed and all spooky. She's well equipped to amuse herself with no trouble, though I can barely breathe a little easier if she won't bring her doll along every time she visits. Narcissa, or Sisa, is a creepy little bugger. Doesn't help when Kylie left her during one. Finding the thing at the bottom of the stairs, staring up at me at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning is a memory that won't be leaving me anytime soon. Even now it stirs at me from where it's seated. totally tempted to just throw the thing in the fireplace and banish it from whence it came. I could buy her a prettier doll, a better toy. I'll break it, find a way to get rid of it. Okay, well, it's not a pretty doll, but you don't have to bark. Let the kid have her toy, you don't need to bark it. Boof! Stop boofing! No boof! Cut it out! No boof! Cut it out! Bad dog. Bad dog. Okay. If it wasn't from Hana, and if only Kylie isn't so attached to it. Think of some antique doll she found for her brat's 6th birthday. One of a kind. My darling Hana loves her so. And Kylie does try to be a good goddaughter, but she just can't keep her interests along with the wife. It's not something that Hana does wrong on her part. She does try so very, very hard. She said she doesn't quite know how to really handle children. She's never been around other children when she was young. Surrounded by protective adults who cater to her every whim and worried for her safety every minute. When she isn't able to keep up with Kylie, her first instinct is to be strict. Impose rules on the child, treat her as if she's made of spun glass, like every movement might break her. I, at least, have some idea from being around street kids. I know the games they've played and how they think. I know that scraps and skin knees are all part of childhood, even when how I grew up. I had time to be a child and not some sheltered heiress. With Kylie, as behaved as she can be, with her toys and her books and her arts, she has to use up all her energy somehow. To run around the playground and make a mess in the mud, or even just fake wrestle for a short while. Let her be a child when she wants, I'll say. If it becomes too much, just bribe her with sweets or ship her back to her papa. Problem solved. Unfortunately, Hana isn't quite up for those sorts of moments. Sorts of things most of the time, thinking it'll spoil the child. It turns a whole playdate awkward every single time. Taking the last seat left, I plugged one of her coloring books on the table to see it filled with dinosaurs. Not exactly what I expect to see for a little girl, but doesn't hurt anyone. Honestly, Luke's pretty fucking good with kids. If she wants to play with dolls and cars, or dolls with their cars, what do I care? She wants to put dolls' tutus on model cars even.
Oh, this is a new one. The last one you had was filled with horses, wasn't it?
Those were ponies, Tio. They're much cuter than horses.
Hell yeah, they are.
But we went to a dinosaur zoo, and it was awesome!
The fuck is a dinosaur zoo?
Very...
Oh,
you know,
museum. I'm...
Siri, dinosaurs are my favorite.
I have no idea what that is, but it must be something. I'm only familiar with the T-Rex myself.
Jurassic Park. Yeah, Jurassic Park
they
exists in
found,
this universe.
Fossils of its claws. They're really long. They think the whole theory might be a bazillion meters tall, even bigger than a T-Rex. Cisa says it'll be big enough to eat all of my classmates.
What the fuck is with that face? She only laughs as I scrunch up my nose in a grimace.
Takako says you're making a really funny face.
Taka who?
Takako, a friend I made.
Oh, is it that friend from Rebecca's chapter? Okay. She showed up early, I guess. I have to stop and look around, expecting one of the help to be there. The child does have a way of befriending just about anyone, as long as she puts her mind to it. Yet the two of us are completely alone. Thankfully, she only finds my disturbed look as another funny grown-up expression. That might be a little more problematic than whether she plays with dolls or cars, though. Both the thoughts of Cisa giving Kylie ideas, and one of said ideas being massacred by dinosaur, is something I probably need to bring up with her father, aside from work. But beyond murderous dinosaurs, creepy dolls, and imaginary friends, I find no trouble with Kylie. She's as energetic and precautious as any tyke her age can be. She's an angel if she can get confidence on after getting her sweets. Oh god, that looks so good. We tuck into our waffles as soon as food is brought in. Our waffles, because she wanted her own plate to go with the ice cream as she saw mine. A fresh plate of berries is brought in as well, which really goes great with the rest of this feast, as Carly puts it. And if I indulge in the sweetness, I have a cup of black coffee to pair it off with. With our bellies full, Kylie grows content with just scribbling on a scrap of paper and calmly chatting about her week. She talks of her older brother Rowan and their parents, how they plan to go to the Bloxland in Berkshire for the winter holidays. She talks to Miss Pink, and I have to shift my leg. Nice. Our choices matter. He is now uncomfortable in the groin when Rebecca is mentioned. Now I have to shift my legs to become comfortable once more. The memory of my initial meeting with her is still fresh on my mind. Little brat is quick to defend her favorite academics as well. The woman has yet to offer a proper apology as she wishes to give on her behalf, all diplomatic-like I taught her. She talks of the sad man in the park and of her new friend who likes to play hide and seek when she's not sniffing in the loo. When finally she finds nothing new to talk about, she goes back to her drawings. It'll change as soon as her stomach settles, of course, the calm before the storm. Because behaved as she is right now, I can feel the curiosity just radiating off of her. There's a restlessness buzzing around her skin and a question on the tip of her tongue, as they often are with children her age. But for now, I can take this piece with no complaint for however long it stays. I have fun with the crayons as well, at the child's insistence, even if they can't really draw. With Kylie using the black crayons that leaves me with the blue one, I absent-mindedly start to draw a puppy to the best of my abilities. Luke likes Blue's Clues. So I attempt to give the doodle dogs another eye that Kylie breaks her silence.
Tio? Where did Tia go? I saw them leave when I got here. Tia didn't look so good.
I've been expecting a lot of different questions. Kid always has a whole bunch of them ready for me, but I can only sigh when she posed this particular one.
She's just going to the doctor's for a checkup.
And as kids go, there are follow-up questions.
And you didn't go with her?
Well, you were going to be here, sweetie, so I had to stay behind.
So she's all alone? At the hospital?
Oh, no, of course not. Tia has Johans and her maid and a guard. She's got plenty of company.
Yeah, but you're not with her.
Yeah, but Johannes is with her, and I think that makes up for it. Threefold, if anything. If I didn't know better, I'd say the kid is trying to make me feel guilty, though I don't know if the bitter taste in my mouth is that or something else entirely. I really don't have time to process what the emotion is as the brat opens her mouth again.
You should have gone with her to the hospital. Hospitals are scary, you know.
Exactly why I didn't go. I don't like hospitals, Kylie. That's all there is to it.
So you're not angry at Tia?
Why would I be angry at her? It isn't her fault she got sick.
I heard you and Tia are fighting. I heard that you might not be together anymore.
I have to stop her there. Sure, it's easier for people to jump to conclusions and presume that we might be fighting, no thanks to Rochelle. But it's not common knowledge that things have actually gone sour, and to put in her terms, that we might not be together anymore.
Oh, well, where did you hear this from?
I heard it from a nice maid lady. But that's still no excuse. Not when she's sick. She needs someone to hold her hand and bring her soup and make her drink medicine.
I'm livid. Livid that one of my employees might gossip. And to a child, of all people! Who says such upsetting things to a child? Her friend Takako, maybe. My anger dies out when Kylie starts to tear up. She holds it back in an effort to not seem so childish, I assume. Though I am honestly confused as to why such news would upset her so.
Oh, no. Look, Kylie, there's no need to cry.
I'm not going to cry.
Are you sure? You've got no reason to cry. Even if Hana and I won't be together anymore, you can still visit me and I can still visit you.
That's not the problem. Why don't you and Tia love each other anymore?
I still love her, Munchkin, and I'd like to think your Tia still does too.
Isn't that the truth? I love her. I'm just total shite at showing it. A smart part of me screams that I was not worthy to be her husband in the first place, no matter how heartily I deny it. Perhaps at another time, another place, another me, I would have confessed that the whole world is nothing compared to her.
Well, why are you two fighting? You grown-ups are so stupid sometimes.
Why? Because I'm a prat, probably. Motioning for her to come closer, I wrap my arms around her and rub her back in an attempt to comfort the child. Only when I feel her tears soaking my jacket that I realize there might be something else to her worries. I've heard Swada is not getting along too well with his wife as of late because of how busy he is with work. Really, I was wholly tempted to just brush her question off and say it's a grown-up thing. I could content myself in pretending this isn't happening. But it seems like she needs to hear this. That just makes it all the more painful trying to explain this because I have to explain it. Not only for Kylie, but also for myself.
Sometimes, people fall out of love. Or they think they've fallen out of love and need time apart. It's not necessarily a bad thing. They might be angry at each other, or they might feel sad. They need time for themselves to think about each other, to know if there is still love. Maybe they'll be back together again. Or maybe it's better for both of them to move on, instead of staying together and hurting each other pretending they still love each other.
There is nothing final, but here we are, at a crossroads where the wrong step might end in heartbreak. Hana thinks we need some time apart, but we aren't done just yet.
But yes, grown-ups can be rather stupid.
You're still gonna be my friend, no matter what, Teal?
I can't stand kids, but Kylie's cute.
Of course, my life would be less exciting without a little brat like you running around and making a mess of it.
And that's a good line.
And you better stay my friend, even when I get all old and wrinkly.
Kylie's shoulders shake in laughter as she pulls away and gives me a toothy grin.
Already old! But don't worry.
Got him!
When you die, I'll burn you and put you in a jar so I can keep you forever! Just like they did with Abuelo!
Kinda creepy. My thoughts come to a grinding halt at her words. Yet she goes on as if she hasn't just said something, such an odd thing. Blech, words hard, especially when I'm being British. But it almost seems like the tyke is looking forward to my funeral. As if there's no confused expression on my face, she pulls me back to our drawings, commentating on the state of my weird dog.
I think your puppy would look better in magenta.
I tuned out until that line and it freaked me out. Yeah, kids are weird. This fucking one time when my baby sister was actually baby. Forget how old she was. I think she was just barely old enough to stand and speak. Oof. But I remember my mother, was my dad even in the picture at the time? Yeah, he was. My mother, my dad, and my younger sister were out somewhere, so I was taking care of the baby sister. She was old enough that I could just kind of ignore her and do my own thing, and if she needed food, I'd make food. But I was taking care of her, and I remember just being in my room, and I had my door open, and I saw her standing in my doorway, and she looked kind of dazed and just kind of zoned out. I'm like, hey, Adeli, you need something? You hungry? What's up? She just kind of stood there, not saying a word, just kind of looking dazed. I'm like, Adeli, you there? And she chuckles and she goes, you're gonna die, under her breath. I'm like, what? She's like, you're gonna die, and she laughs more and runs. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that about? And she just leaves, and I don't want to listen. Fucking dazed out spooky child says I'm about to die. I'm about to fuck with that. I'm gonna let her run and just close my door, and I'm gonna ignore that. But needless to say, that freaked me out, cause she was really young too. If she was the age she is now, I'd be like, okay, yeah, whatever, brat. I'll punt you like a football. I don't care. Go ahead, do it. Do it. Shoot me. But at the age she was then, that fucking freaked me out. Kids are weird. Ooh, join Noel and Twee. Oh, yeah, of course the fucking doll. I don't think I spend any more time with Kylie considering how high-strung I feel. So it is a good thing that Suarez came for her as soon as I've called. Though it is earlier than agreed upon, he voices no complaint, and the bastard even has a look of relief as soon as they left. Or at least, I think I interpreted it as such from where I've stood by one of the windows, not bothering to step out and greet the man. No doubt he still didn't trust me around his spawn. Well, he has every right to be suspicious of me. I am a dangerous man, after all. But to my charging, that leaves me with the rest of the day with nothing to do. Well, aside from picking up the mess Kylie left scattered about in the parlor. To my immense relief, she remembered to take her doll with her this time. But the same cannot be said of the crayon papers littered here and there. First things first, I snatch my own doodle off the table and rip it to shreds, leaving no hope that it'll see the light of day. The rest of the drawings, all Kylie's, remain unharmed as I collect the lot. Though they had been stacked neatly on the table before, they must have been blown about when I saw Kylie off. And there are plenty of them. From cats and cakes to colorful rainbows and gardens, the child managed to make a lot during her morning here. There is one more I have to fish out of the fireplace where it landed. Expecting to see another one of Kylie's masterpieces, I'm instead greeted with something a bit more concerning. Oh. There's me, and there's Kylie, the two of us side by side, smiling as our stick figure selves stand in a nondescript field. That much I can ascertain without looking at the labels below the doodle's feet. But a third figure stands next to me in the drawing. A woman with the face hidden behind a curtain of black. Takako, the writing under her supplies.
Takako says you're making a really funny face.
Achievement unlocked, one big happy family.
Taka who?
Takako, a friend I made.
The hairs on the back of my neck stand on the end, and I feel a chill go down my spine. A breath. That is it mine. This has me turning around, expecting, hoping to see someone, anyone, but nothing. That's when I hear it. Laughter. Sweet and merry laughter ringing from the ballroom. Thinking about it has my cheeks burning, my blood running hot, as if I'm being mocked. As I stomp towards the door, I have to stop myself from shouting up a storm. I expect to see some of the help, dallying about, idle from their duties. Perhaps they thought they can slack off in their duties with the head butler around, with my preoccupation with Kylie. Well, they had another thing coming. But again, nothing. Nothing from what I can see, with the cursory glance at the very least. I roam around, looking for near impossible hiding places, and still I'm all alone. Yet I can still hear the laughter, that accursed laughter echoing in the room, in my head.
Who's there? Show yourselves and show some respect to the master of the house!
Cold uneasiness settles into my stomach when no one answers. I stumble on my own 2 feet, feeling a wave of nausea coming from nowhere. I have to put a hand against the wall to stay upright when the world shifts and pain explodes from behind my eyes. It takes every ounce of my self-control not to heave then and there. The only thing my pride allowed me to do then is to close my eyes in an attempt to alleviate some of the pain. Vague, unfamiliar images, dare I say memories not mine, flash in my head, unbiting and unwelcome. Like a strong hammer strike to the head, threatening to crack my skull and split it in two. Whatever emotions they hold, I'm muted. I'm nothing but a spectator. Still, its weight feels palpable. Though it doesn't take long for these sensations to get into my head, through my eyes and my ears, it creeps and buzzes in spaces in between. One after another, they come at me, an unending flood that threatens to sweep me away for what feels like an eternity. Each one a show of joy and suffering for those who've called this mansion their home. Each new scene is like a hammer to the head, threatening to crack my skull and split it in two. That's weird, why is Luke's chapter doing that? That's the second time each new scene, yeah. No, hold on. Oh, I could have sworn I read that twice, weird. I can feel every little emotion that blurry images that present itself in my head. I feel a part of these, like I've lived through them, though I know it's not possible. All that anger burns through me, that much is evident. But the pain is more so. And above all of it are the whispers. The voices calling, luring until one image emerges in vivid contrast with the others. When there's a shout of joy, my eyes snap open, looking for the culprit. That's when the whole room just changes. Everything is the same, yet everything isn't. Whoa! There are people everywhere, laughing and dancing. I should be concerned about them, but my mind finds it easy to dismiss them as they fade in and out of nothingness. Instead, I find my concentration drawn to a man or a woman, though one can only call them a lord and a lady going by their clothes. And oh, just see how happy the couple looks. I'm gonna turn that down a bit. Boop, 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 boop. Though the man's eyes are an eerily blank, like he's not there at all, his face is familiar though. In fact, they both are, but I can't quite place why. The two make for a pretty picture as they dance in the center of the ballroom. Even the phantom crowd's attention stays on them. It reminds me so much of Hana and I during the early days of our marriage. The honeymoon years, they call it. We were happy then too. All smiles and her sunshine, even with the normal dreary weather. Younger, we had less to worry about, or at least thought that way. Wished we could go on that way, even with all that I did and I had to do. But life has a way of catching up. There was work to be done. Although we had to stay the loving, perfect couple in public, could not afford to look so weak. To appear tied down to someone else too. Those who knew or who I really am, I just had to harden my heart. When I have business, but it hadn't always been so easy to just switch that part of me on and off. I should be concerned about the intrusion too. Ask what in the bloody hell they're doing in my house, throwing a party as if they own the place. Ask myself how the fuck I didn't notice what was going on before when the parlor and the foyer are both only a few doors away. There's a horrid feeling of envy. And though I have long accepted I am a jealous person by nature, I've never felt such a strong feeling of envy as I have now. They were happy with each other. These people, but Hana and I, envy turned into anger. Anger for something I could not have. But I have that feeling, that yelling and screaming at them won't do much anything anyway. None of the others have given me notice. I realize that this might not even be real. It dawns on me that these two people are those from the paintings, the ones all over the mansion. Which makes sense. I don't think I'm imaginative enough to make this all up my own. This must be a dream. A really horrible high. Just then, I can feel my eyes on me as I contemplate the absurdity of the situation. Yeah, I find difficulty in trying to tear my eyes away from the two dancing. I manage. And I regret looking away. The woman from the garden stands beside me. I can hear her rattling breath, menacing and chilling. Everything in me screams to run. Something pins me to the spot. She just looks at me, watching and waiting. The clamor of their voices filled the ballroom. Although they say such welcoming words, I do not feel comforted by the madness I'm experiencing. Their joyous voices turn sinister and foreboding in my ears. The chorus of people that shouldn't exist, threaten to overwhelm me, drown me even as I stand on dry land. The music still plays as the Phantom Quartet continues while I stand there, vulnerable and afraid. But the dance has already ended. I'm afraid that I might just be tonight's entertainment. Attention's all well and good until bollocks like this goes down. These phantom people watch me, thousands of eyes scrutinizing. They cheer for my return, cajole me to dance with them. The merriment. There are eager hands all over, pulling me in every direction, but they do not move me enough to remove me from the woman's gaze.
Listen. Can you not hear them as they welcome you home? You are kind. Our kind. You're one of us, my love. We are bonded by the blood we share.
If I thought the voices were overwhelming before, it's nothing compared to how they are now. Their voices are loud, speaking in unison, echoing ever on these spaces in my head. They welcome me back as if I belonged, as if I were meant to be here in the first place. They call me these titles and names that do not belong to me, and the man's face, the one with the empty eyes, flashes again before me, once fleeting me. Like a new memory having buried itself in my mind. I have to struggle for air when I come back to myself after.
I'm not. This isn't.
The welcomes turn to screams at my protest, pained and desperate pleas for my help, telling me that it is my duty to stay. Tell me that I belong among them, to them. Gentle touches turn near threatening, the warning scratches and the baring of my teeth by predators before they truly maim someone. My mouth goes dry as I struggle to speak, some senseless hallucinatory madness. I don't get the chance as I drown out my voice.
Our lord, my prince.
I hear a word, there's a compulsion to stay. Though my heart races in my chest, the fear I should be experiencing refuses to register in my head. Mind and body war with each other, nearly tearing me in two.
Oh, you finally returned to us.
The compulsion to walk in her arms is strong. Whispers in my head tell me to go to her. They say that she's safety, she's home and hot.
We have been waiting for so long.
But repulsed at these thoughts, I retch away and turn with a small gasp. Without hesitation, I start to make a run for it. I nearly falter when an angry shriek pierces the air, inhumane and monstrous. I don't dare look back, I just run. I didn't care if this drug-induced hallucination or not. Just run! Out of the ballroom. And out of the parlor. Nope, okay, footsteps are chasing. It's only then that I bother to look back, hoping and praying to the god I scorn that it did not pursue me. I'd have run all the way out the mansion too if someone didn't get in my way. Collide with a body much larger than mine and fall back to the ground, head spinning as I look up to the stained glass. Turning my head to the side replaces the colorful sight with a pair of shiny black shoes. Fatigue fills every inch of my being then, making me refuse to get up. Meanwhile, a familiar head of ginger hair looks down at me in bemusement.
You really must look where you're going if you insist on running about. Do tell, where is the fire?
Oh, thank God you're here.
I do hope you don't have a concussion. Can you count backwards from 15 to 1 for me?
Oh, fuck off, you wanker. Just help me up.
I do not think insulting me if you do have a concussion is a smart decision. But no, really. 15 to 1.
That woman, she was here. I told you to keep an eye out for her.
The other man offers an arm and pulls me up to my feet then. But before I can storm off and pull him to the ballroom, he anchors me down with one hand on my shoulder, the other touching the back of my head.
No bruising or bump. That still does not mean that you don't have a concussion. If you are too lazy to count backwards, can you tell me your full name? Where are you currently?
We don't have Lucille Mitchell Wright.
Right.
This is the Ermengarde bloody fucking foyer.
Ermengarde bloody fucking foyer.
But we don't have time for this.
You must make and have the time to make sure you are not broken in the head. I have already sent security to scour the whole house when I saw you running out of the parlor, Dummkopf. If the woman is here, they will have her. You will only be slowing them down if you plan to interfere.
When he points that out, I realize that there are guards starting to filter into the house, and as we speak, with some already searching the nearby rooms. Armed and uniformed men go in pairs, making so the house is in a flurry of activity. Let's go me then, with knowledge that I'm not going to keel over anytime.
I was hoping that you would be tired from dealing with the young miss on my return.
Why is that his name though? Cause that's what Lucille fucking Wright calls him. He calls him Schrocken. So the game has labeled him Schrocken as we play.
Instead, you come running and hit your head. Such a troublesome boy.
What does it mean?
Shall I be carrying you to bed, too?
Good question, actually. Let me pop a quick. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. Let me ask the Google. Definitely nothing nice. Did I spell that properly? S-C-H-R-O-C-K-E-N. S-C-H-R-O-C-K-N. I don't think that's what it is. Translation of Schrocken from English. Nope, that's not it either. Schrocken. Is it a German word? Ugh. Or, you know, maybe it is. Where was he born? Fuck, hold on. Johannes the letter. No, not Jones. Oh, is that just his last name? How come it feels like he's calling him a mean word? Yeah, it's just his last name. Okay. Schrocken's just his last name.
I can manage just fine on my own.
I don't know, the first time I heard him
sleep
call
until
him
that
that,
woman
he
is
said it
caught.
with attitude. Yeah, it was giving me a, it was giving me a district in Germany. And she didn't spell it properly. That's funny. Cause like I said, the first time he calls him that. Yeah, I saw that too, but I'm like, I don't think that's what he'd call him. But yeah, it's just, okay, so I went to the wiki for Johannes, and it's just his last name. Cause literally the first time Luke calls him that, he goes, listen, Schrocken. And it just sounded so mean, but I guess anything coming out of Luke's mouth sounds mean. Yeah, I saw that too. Where it just said startled. I'm like, that can't be it. I'm looking for something rude. Do I have to type list of German swear words?
It'll be easier to keep you safe in your quarters. This is twice we've known the woman to break in. I think we can safely presume that you hold her interest.
He says it as a matter of fact, in a tone that brook no argument. Not like I'll argue of it if it means I'm kept safe. The two of us hurry upstairs, though we remain watchful and wary of any potential threats to my person. We make it to the master bedroom without any trouble, and two of the security are left outside the door. No problems at all. Not until we get inside. Johannes' eyes scan the room wildly, a look of dread on his usual stoic face. And I don't understand for a moment, look around the bedroom. It's empty. But then I realize...
Where's Hana? She came home with you from the hospital, didn't she?
She's supposed to be here. I sent one of the maids to accompany her here, to let her rest.
Ooh, what if it was the ghost maid? I feel the color drain from my face when he raises a hand to stop me from charging out there.
Stay.
I'm not staying in here while Hana stays out there.
One of the guards will find her and bring her here.
And what if they don't? What if that woman gets to her first? What if she already has her?
That's not possible.
You can't promise that.
There's no second thought as I reach under the side of my bed and pull out one of my knives. I've no doubt that the other man can take me on if we're both unarmed. But with this, I can even the field, or at least deter him from escalating the situation and risking hurting either of us.
I'm going out there to look for Hana. And you're either with me or you aren't. I'm not risking Hana, and I'm not leaving her alone.
Still, like a stubborn mule, he refuses to budge from the door. There's a withering look on him that I try to match. One that somehow I'm losing fast to, even with him not saying a word yet.
Can you see yourself in the mirror right now? You are in no proper state to go looking for anyone. If it will make you happy, I will do the looking. But please, and don't make me repeat this, stay where it's safe, where security can find you. We already have one person to be worried about. Please don't add another one to it.
The look of, like, genuine worry on Johannes' face is so good. Perhaps it is his tone. In spite of his general disdain for virtually everything that has to do with me, I would like to think that over the years he's grown to care for Hana at least. Much as I loathe to admit it, I trust him with her safety over any seven in this house. So, Anacquis.
You have 2 hours, Sorokin. I don't think it'll take that long to find one missing woman in this